Loving Detroit, y'all, man. It's crazy out here. I love it. I love it. Where we at? See a lot of stuff for sale out here, man. Might gotta come out here and open something up in the Lakewood. Okay, we at Detroit Soul Food. I was in Detroit. I don't know, Detroit Soul Food. Got my brother G Stacks. What's up? What's up? What's up? Respect the throttle. We out here, man. Detroit. I still don't see no ozone dude out here, man. Yeah, he can't come out.
Where ozone at?
Yeah, where ozone at?
Where ozone at?
Yeah. Up to
Where
debate.
ozone at?
What's the debate for? Come to Harlem, though. We want you to come to Harlem, man. We'll show you a good time. Up the debate. You don't even be outside of your own hood? It's crazy, bro. I'm gonna mute this one because the music is playing. But we in the club in Detroit, having a ball. O-Cinda, she don't come outside in her hood. I don't know how she be talking and want to debate with a real dude, with a thorough dude. I'm in Detroit, man. I love it out there, man. I'm with some real official Detroit dudes. They say this clown don't even come outside. Keep talking from inside of a basement, man. You in the basement, man. So I just thought I'd show y'all that, man. And this what, these are my projects. O-Cinda, this what I do. There go one from the Paid in Full movie. Just so you know. This what I do, O-Cinda. Just got in the crib. I said, yeah, let me answer back to O-Cinda. I don't want y'all to get it twisted. Ain't nobody over there in Detroit looking for him for no beef purposes and all that. We ain't with all that unless somebody act like they want to take it there. Other than that, we ain't with all that. But yeah, I was over there. I wanted to chop it up with him. What's good? Why you in Harlem business? But he couldn't come outside. Hold up. Yeah. He couldn't come outside, man. He couldn't come outside, man. That's all I'm saying. So what do I need to debate with somebody that represents a person that did crime with people and did it, on the regular with people and for their benefits, tell on people so they don't go to jail, but they send the people to jail that did crimes for them, with them, all of the above, man. All of the above, man. So, like I said, don't get it twisted. Ain't nobody was over there for all of that, as far as beef and all that's concerned. Because if it was about beef, you would never know we was over there. We wouldn't be calling them out. So it's common sense. So for people that even was thinking on that level, I'm just addressing some of the people that was saying something about it. That's been in my shorts a long time ago. We did a paid in full party over there in Detroit for our homeboy. And, we got a ball in Detroit. I love Detroit, man. For real. They got some nice, beautiful women over there, too. But, all that debating. If you want to debate, come outside. Let's say where we gonna do the debate at. We can do that. So people could be in the audience. We can have an audience doing this debate. What do you mean do a debate on the TV, your channel, my channel, and all that? For what? Let's do it and bring the cameras out. Pick a spot in Detroit, I'll come. You ain't saying nothing but a word, brother. See, the difference between me and you is you really is a snitch lover. And nobody don't take to that, brother. And me with AZ, I don't talk to AZ. If you did listen to the thing correctly, you would have heard me say. He called me on three-way. I'm just speaking facts to people like you that be in Harlem's business. So if it was anybody else, I would still speak about it. And that's a fact. Hit up at Q the Manager. QUETHE Manager on Instagram. Hit him in his DM. QUE or Quentin Watson on Facebook. Quentin Watson. QUENTON Watson. TIN. Yep, Q the Manager on Instagram. Facts. Let them know what your platform is. Grab a cup, bro, while I address this clown.
No, I'm hitting one. Oh, you still
I'm gonna address this clown real quick, man. Yeah, like I said, I don't talk to AZ, but the end of the day, the difference in him, Ron Boogs, I see you. The difference in AZ, appreciate it. Getting on the stand and speaking what happened to him. He already admits to that. And you can take it how you want to take it. He ain't send nobody to jail to duck a crime that he did with somebody and all that. Whatever he did, as I was saying, you even could say he's soft. Because he might have took the stand or whatever, but he didn't go in the interrogation room and telling all the business, this to that, whatever. But yeah, he got on the stand and he spoke upon what happened. But at the end of the day, the Kevin dude is the one that told on the other two dudes, period. So, at the end of the day, if, he might have thought he was dying and he gonna speak on whatever he wanted to speak on at the beginning, and then if he spoke on it afterwards and took the stand and all that, and he don't mind admitting to it, but let us know where you want to meet at, and I'll tell him so you can debate with AZ. You can meet outside in Detroit, and we let's promote it so it can be big. I'm with it. Now, we're going to get to some of the stuff. And I'm just basically doing simple stuff because, you're a simple-minded dude. I just go back and forth with you to have fun. I know you're doing things for content purposes. And, let me see. I'm going to go with some of the stuff you were saying. And you read off AZ book. And mind you, you talk about if you had daughters and all that, homie, you don't look like you get no sex at all, my G. For real. You be in that basement, bro. You in the basement, man. With dusty t-shirts all day, man, talking about nothing, my G. What kids you got? I beg to differ, man. I don't think you got no kids, man. For real. What lady laid down with you, homie? You look crazy.
We had no secrets.
Babe,
We're gonna get into some of your stuff that you were saying.
He damn sure don't want to debate with me.
He said I don't want to debate with him.
Tell him I'll debate him. If he wants to debate in the open on the public, I'll be sure I'll debate. What's good? I'm up for the job because you niggas is trigger.
Said in the public eye now. You let me know where you want me at and what time, brother. You said in the public eye you want to link up. Let's see that. Let's promote this now. We're gonna be out wherever we gonna be at. Let's promote it, brother. For real.
Man, one don't get a pass for the same thing the other one gets chastised for. You feel me? Now let's take a look at this. You know,
So
Dame speaks on the girl
hold up.
saying that, but this girl never spoke out nothing about saying asex to her.
L Blizz, what up? Yeah, he want to debate he want to debate in his basement. That's a fact.
I can't remember. But one thing I can say.
What up, Jazzy Love? I appreciate that.
Really sexed her or Jade. Nobody never had no concrete evidence of that ever happening or whatever. But I do know of her. And
he can't afford to fly nowhere. That's why I told him I'll come there. I bet you he won't come to Harlem. I just showed him I was in Detroit. I was at the club. I was at a restaurant out there eating.
Didn't know. It's not an excuse. Let's start.
And another thing about the clown, you know, the stuff when he write it down and start reading it off, he don't really write down everything how the person speaks, what they were saying. He switch it around to make it sound like to fit a narrative of what he trying to paint with his content. But yeah, there's no form of fashion that a young girl can't even excite me. A grown woman that ain't even shaped right, that don't have no style or shape to her, can't even excite me. Excuse my language, ladies, but Johnson won't even think twice about it. So there's no form of fashion that I'm here defending about young women. See, today's young women is different from years ago young women. And I'm just really showing the history when I speak what I'm speaking, due to the fact of, you know, being that they speaking about the AZ stuff, or, you know, Dame Dash brought it back up about the AZ stuff, and I was just pulling his coat about things that he didn't know, because Dame is my bro, love him to death. I ain't going against him for nobody. I'm just was pulling his coat. So it's never no dissing, but I'm just saying. Hold up, Ron said, let it be in Harlem. He knows the happening things. That's what's going on, right? That's a fact. Yeah, matter of fact, yeah, come to Harlem. I was out in Detroit, and I was calling for you, homie, and you ain't come out. Then after I went and got the food, I was outside, then we left, we went to the club. We was hanging in your clubs, in your hood. And you ain't, matter of fact, yeah, let's debate in Harlem, bro. This just show you how irrelevant you are. And is a straight up clown, dog. I'll just entertain you. I'll be bored sometime. I'll entertain you. But like I'm saying, I'm trying to show the history of how it was back in the day. And see, back in the day, and like I said, it's not about me making excuses for men that dealt with young women, because anybody that deal with a young girl, that's definitely crazy. And I'm saying that to say, the way it's structured now was the same structure back in the days, but those laws was not even thought about. They ain't bothered none of them laws or nothing. They started bringing the laws to the light and utilizing them when they wanted to take celebrities down, when they used statutory rape and things of that nature. Back then, our females, even our males, 16-year-olds, riding around with $100,000. When the AZs and the Rich Porters, they was 16. Riding around with $100,000 and all that. You can't even imagine one of these little young 16-year-old boys right now playing with $100,000 and figured it out from the streets. When you see the average 16-year-old boy, you look at him as innocent and all of the above. When you look at the average 16-year-old, 13-year-old girl, you look at them as innocent and all of the above. And when I'm up here preaching, I'm only preaching history of what went on back then. See, back then, you ain't never even heard the word statutory rape or nothing. And I'm not saying it to glorify it. I'm just saying it. Y'all new people that's on the internet that's up to date with this new modern stuff. I get it. You wouldn't understand the difference in what was going on back then, which still don't make it right. It just wasn't enforced. And at that time, the dude still was in a young frame of mind. Back then, even if you was 20, 21, you still in a learning stage. My kid 21, still have a young state of mind, gotta teach him certain things and all that. But when they in them streets, back then, the average, so in here, I'm gonna let y'all hear him read the book. And what I was saying about AZ also, what I was saying about AZ also was I'm trying to make sure I say this the correct way. When I was speaking about him as far as the young girl's concerned, I wanted to say, which I was saying to my bro Dane Dash, don't say stuff as far as if AZ was sexing her and saying it in that manner, because then that's like hearsay. Now, if you say it the correct way, like she was with AZ and all that, then that's true. He admitted to all that and everything. And even in the book, if O read it, said that he was lusting for her, but I'm gonna get back to that in a minute. But I was just saying, don't say it, Dame, because a public figure like you saying that and it ain't true. Now, when this man O-Cinda read it in the book, it said that the girl he been trying to, I'm gonna let him read the book and then I'm gonna break it down to y'all. Hold up.
What niggas didn't bank on was people reading that book, The Game Over. Page 129.
Plenty of people read the book, right, so he's late.
Let's see what he had to say about Lynette Bell, the little 12-year-old girl, because Bootsie, in that audio,
but she's
between
13,
him
though.
and AZ, where AZ says that niggas is beneath him, right?
And I said that
Bootsie
makes
said, I keep telling people, she jumped out of cab, you didn't even know she was coming over, you was trying to ignore her, and this and that and other. That's not what he says in the book, dog.
Oh yeah, and that's a fact. I had got it wrong that she had jumped out the cab, but I didn't get it wrong. It was said to me from some people that is our friends. But my homeboy that was actually there waiting for AZ to pull up, because A needed him to help him bottle up, confirmed to me last week. And I owned up to that part, that's where I said it wrong. But still, at the end of the day, it's still the same format. She was begging for him to take her with him. She didn't want to rock with him. She didn't want to rock with him at all. But for some reason, now she wants to rock with him, because the older girls that she was with started getting in her ear and telling her, what, this dude trying to holler at you? Girl, you know who that is? Blase, blase, blah. But we'll get back to that in a hot second.
From his recollection. Now, he may be changing his story now, like I said before, because of the flack that he's getting for dealing with the 12-year-old girl. But in his book, he said he lusted for her. You did? He lusted over her for quite some time. Now, how long do you lust over a 12-year-old girl? You feel me? Let's take a look at it. At this point, a girl named Lynette Bell walked up on me. I've been trying to get with her for a while. She was 12 at the time of the shooting.
What up?
So what you mean you've been trying to get with since she was 11? But how long is a while, homeboy? No wonder she is standing you up, because he said she always stand them up, and she's a little fucking girl.
See, the part where she was standing A up is what he's saying. He reading A book, right? We're gonna keep going.
You did? What you mean? Anyway, I was looking for you all day. Where were you? She asked. I tried to keep my distance because I was wet and sweaty from balling. On top of that, it felt like it was over 100 degrees outside. The Lord was in full effect. I was like, Why are you looking for me? You always stand me up. Yeah, because she's a little girl, nigga. You've been lusting over 11-year-old, 12-year-old for quite some time.
Jazzy said, y'all was some grown ass kids back then. 10 was 20. That's a fact. And they wouldn't believe it right now in this new YouTube and Instagrams and all that era. They wouldn't ever believe it. And they didn't understand those laws and never was even thought about at all. Period. But we're gonna finish watching and we're gonna get back to that in a second.
She probably couldn't make it out the house. She probably had a curfew. You know, she's a little girl. But
he said she see how he switched stuff up for the narrative. She probably couldn't make it out the house curfew. What is she doing all the way past where she live at? If that's the case, he don't even understand. Harlem girls was everywhere, and we was riding buses at 9 and 10-year-old. I still wouldn't even let my 12-year-old ride on no bus by herself right now out here. That's a fact. But we'll finish listening to O-Cinda.
Says she responded by whispering something sexy in my ear. She finally gave me the green light to get with her. Okay, I said, but I gotta make her run real quick. I'll be right back. I was lusting for sure, is what he's saying. This is what he's writing about the 12-year-old. He was lusting for sure. So,
like Ron Book said, he said, okay, but at that time, I'm quite sure he didn't know her age. That's a fact. Because she was never looking that age. That motherfucker was BAD back then, man. And I was her age bracket, so I can say that for this new era. But anyway, and she was standing him up probably until the info about who he was from her home, other chicks, which is her homegirl. She used to hang with the big dogs back then. That's a fact. Until chicks who was chasing hustlers told her who he is. And that's why she was thirsty. Nah, I'm gonna go with you now. Nah, I ain't standing you up. Nah. Yeah. Fast ass little girls back then. That's a fact. Big Rex, what up?
he'll be right back. You come and get that. No, Lynette replied. I'm not waiting. I've been waiting all day for you. Why can't I come with you? I'm ready right now. I looked right into her eye.
See what she said? No, why I can't go with you? I'm ready right now. This is what she's saying. Now she went from not wanting to hang and go with him, ducking him, to now just he can't believe it. Like, why she thirsty to be pushing up on me now? So we gearing up to what's going on, right? Now she's going with him now, right? Listen.
And said, fuck it, come on, and ride with us. I usually didn't let women come with me on a business run, but if you saw...
See what he said? I usually don't let women come with me on a business run. Meaning, she never been in that house before. So, but you know, and this the stuff that I was saying, like people was trying to say he probably was sexing her in that house before and all that. So I'm glad this clown reading the book. Because it says a lot. I ain't got time to read it. I was there. I already know what it is. But I'm glad he reading the book. But, so it's showing that her first time even going to the house with him. Period. So, he's saying a lot right now.
Her, you wouldn't think twice too. If you saw this 11, 12-year-old, you wouldn't think twice too. So, cut the bullshit about...
Jazzy said, don't forget about the mothers who was pimping out their daughters for that drug money as well. No, that's a big fact. That's a big fact. It's probably still happening right now all the way up to date. So we're going to finish, y'all.
She just came on her own. Cut the bullshit about she didn't just come with him. She didn't come with him. She jumped out of the cab and all the rest of that. This is his recollection. This is him telling you he told her come on and they jumped in the cab. He said, we jumped in the cab and headed up to 169th Street and the Grand Concourse in the Bronx to my aunt's apartment building. During the entire cab ride, Lynette kept saying she had to use the bathroom. I paid it no mind at the time. So, what are we talking about again? What are we talking about? That's why it keeps coming up. You feel?
So he said they got to the Bronx and she kept saying she had to use the bathroom and all that stuff, right? So when they got to the Bronx, right? When they got to the Bronx, and this is the things that I was saying to my bro and to anybody else. If you're gonna tell a story, just tell it correctly. That's all I'm saying. Don't put a bone on a person as if they was sexing the girl and it never happened. But speak about the stuff that happened. That's it. And I can't say nothing about nothing else. And that's the problem with this internet. People just be saying stuff. A person just right now could say, yo, Bootsie a rat. And everybody gonna start running with it just because of who I am. Tell them to be quiet, man. And everybody will run with it. But it just depends on the caliber of person and all that. You know what I'm saying? But this internet is just wild. So what I was saying to A is, I mean not A, excuse me, to Dame is, and to whoever else. Don't say certain things that ain't true, because when it come back, then your reputation will look crazy. So, you know, my brother Rick told me that the one that AZ had waiting for him told me, he was like, nah, Boost, A had told me to meet him up in the Bronx, and he said, and you know, he said that Lynette didn't want him. I mean, Lynette was, you know, kept saying she wanted to go with him, so he said she came with him in the Bronx with Charlie C, which was another of our friends that passed away in that house. He said, nah, she was in the cab with Abe when they came. I said, oh, okay, cool. I don't mind going there and say, yeah, I said it wrong, but I'm pretty much on point with what I'm talking about, because I know, because I was supposed to be there in that house. I was supposed to go with him, but I didn't, thank God. That's another story, which I done told the story before. But anyway, being that he said, this is O-Cinda reading the book. He just read it. It said she didn't want to leave. She kept basically saying, I want to go, I want to go. He said, all right, F it, come on. So they go there, they get there, they go upstairs, they go open the door, however they got upstairs, I'm skipping over stuff. They get up there and got snatched into an apartment with them blowers to their face, whatever, whatever. So my point is, he didn't sex the girl. It never said nothing in the book where he sexed her, nothing. Never said nothing about how he knew her age bracket, nothing. I don't know. I really don't care about it. When I speak, I only speak about to tell people, say things what you know, not what you hear from other people. That's how rumors get started. Say facts. That's the only thing that I dispute on these things, or dispute for AZ. Period. I don't recommend nobody dealing with no young girl or none of that. But back in the days, at that time, nobody wasn't even thinking about that. And she's my age bracket. And dudes like us was like, damn, man, she ain't gonna rock with us because we ain't got no money. Or we getting money, but she ain't gonna rock with us because we ain't getting enough money. And she was hanging with the big dog females. And them females done told her, boy, he trying to holler at you. Yo, he spending that cash. Everybody know AZ giving a girl $2,000-$3,000 hanging out with him. They talk about it. All of them was tricking on women, girl, period. Just that. And it'll be a big, if what is going on today would have been happening back then, nobody wouldn't have been dealing with them girls, because it would have been out in the open far as the law is concerned. No, those laws wasn't even applied. Even the laws about crack, they had to figure out about what this crack situation was so they can make a law about it. Niggas used to have cracks in their pockets, standing on the corner with no problem, because the police wasn't on to none of that. L Bliss said that day had to be crazy for her. Yes, it was, man. Had to be, boy. Good fella said not mature enough either. Jazzy said, correct, Elbid. Anyone could say this or that until they actually in that situation. They don't know what they would do. Nah, that's a fact. And this is the reason why people don't look at all that street pet, that fake, if you in the game selling drugs and all that. That wasn't talked about back then. Back then was talked about if you do a crime with somebody, you snitch. If something happened to you, nobody ain't saying just because you selling drugs, you a snitch. That means stick-up dudes get a pass. No, stick-up dudes need to know who they sticking up before they do that, because you killing people and you killing mamas. And then again, they shot a 13-year-old girl in the head. Y'all ain't said nothing yet about that. If she was so young looking, they shot her in the head. That's why nobody ain't looking at AZ like he did something wrong. So don't try to paint narratives, old dickhead. You's a clown, my dude. For real, you's a clown. Nothing you saying makes sense, and you be rewriting the stuff different from what is actually said. Goodfella said the older females was banging us up at them ages. Was bagging us up at them ages. Facts. That's a fact. Ron said Young was only heard in the Chinese restaurant. The girls was looking older than some of the hustlers. And that's a fact. Them girls was looking older than some of the older chicks and better than the older chicks. And very mature. Them chicks was in the fever, all that stuff, in the big boy clubs. And that's why I said today, bro, you don't even want to do that. You open a can of worms up due to this new modern stuff about how many niggas was dealing with young women back then. And it's just the same. Nobody knew the laws of the things that they was selling drugs and what it could happen until the Fed cases started coming, and it was like different for them. Even when Nicky Barnes and them caught their time, they looked at it as different because of the level of Nicky Barnes and them, but niggas didn't think about none of that stuff. Of the type of time they could get for selling the drugs they were selling. Niggas ain't think about the girls was underage and they could get statutory rape charges and all that because it wasn't frowned upon, especially when you see a girl that's, if you don't ask her age and she don't tell you her age, you would never know their age back then. That's a fact. That's the only thing that I'm up here standing up for. Don't try to make it look like what's going on now. The average little girl that's 15 and 13 here, yeah, they look 15 and 13, and nobody would never even deal with nothing like that anyway. Not saying that it's good to deal with a young woman. I'm just saying they did not look like the age brackets of what's going on today. Never. And that's a fact. And then I'm gonna give you another one. Old dickhead. And you know, so you know, love Alpo so much and talking about how Alpo is so thorough or whatever, and you want to compare Alpo and AZ or whatever. Me and my brother, we all riding. We go down to 132nd, which they call the location 132. And we was young then, about 17, 18 or whatever. We pulling up on the corner. Alpo standing on the corner, talking to my brother's wife. At the time, we call our girls wifeys. It was my brother wifey. And she's standing there kiki, and he looking down at her, lusting and all that, lusting. And I'm like, my brother like, yo, oh, what the F is she doing? I said, nah, hold up. Let's see how long she gonna be there kikiing and la. And you know, he talking to her, and you know, and And my brother mad. He can't even take it. He upset that she still like they're kikiing, talking to Alpo. And she was 15 years old. 15, man. And I jumped, so I'm like, all right, come on, man. I'm gonna jump out the car, let this dude know, man. My brother get out the car. Yo, what you doing, man? Alpo stood, you know, he ain't bent over like looking down at her hollering, and he stood up like, I'm like, yo, what up, Pope? I said, nah, that's my brother girl, man. It's his wife, man. He was like, nah, man, nah. I'm just so, you know, just conversating with Shorty. It ain't nothing. I said, nah, it ain't that, but you know how I go, bro. She too kikiing over here. But we wasn't saying kikiing back then. I can't remember the exact words I said to him on that note. But I guess smiling, she always smiling and all that. But just to give you an example, old dickhead, you don't know what you be talking about, Shorty. You a clown, you just be talking, man. But I entertain you, man, to give you this Harlem history, being that you a Detroit sucker. They don't even rock with you in Detroit. Jazzy said Dame was dealing with Aaliyah, whom he was much older than. Now, that's a fact, but she was of age when he dealt with her, so.
She was like 22.
Yeah, she was grown then. She was grown.
She was doing 79.
She was grown, but Dame just, to me, that's my bro, love to death. I just felt he ain't had a right to say that about A, especially right now, for what? We ain't even talking about that no more. Because he didn't know if it was true. Now, y'all just heard Up for the Dickhead say that she was begging to go with him, and when they went with him, he got touched. So it didn't speak about him sexing her or nothing. That's all I was saying. Now, him hanging around, if a person upset about him hanging around or this and that, back in the days, that's how it go. And like I told Dane, bro, you open a can of worms of how many dudes that was going to these schools hollering at the girls back there, because that was like the thing to do. It wasn't frowned upon. Just the same way it's not frowned upon in other countries. They marry 14 and 15 like Mexico and all that. I ain't saying that is right. I'm just saying the law against it in our country say it's wrong. So it's wrong. A 15-year-old girl, 13-year-old girl, a 18 or a 19-year-old girl that they ain't even looking the part could interest me. Period. And if she was 15 or 16 and I'm looking at her and she's mature, could speak well and all that, can't interest me. Because at the end of the day, what can you do with a 15, 16, 17 that is thick, look good and all that? They mental still ain't all the way there and developed. So with me, with my mental, I know I wouldn't want to deal with nothing like that anyway if it was legal to do it. It wouldn't make sense at all. Longevity purposes, all of the above. But back then, our 16-year-old men, 15-year-old men was ahead of their time. I was 10 years old in the cleaners with AZ. 10, wanting to get some money. He wouldn't let me do no drug stuff or nothing. He let me do the cleaners and all that, deliver the clothes. But I was ahead of my time wanting to get money. The females back then ahead of their time. They was in the clubs where the liquor and the coke and everything was going on in there. Period. So I'm just trying to say, people that's new because of this YouTube stuff, don't try to judge a person of what they did back then when they was 20, 21, because they still was young-minded also, but in a different lane, and it wasn't like it is now, frowned upon and all that. So for a person that was from back in the day to say it and make a person look bad, and you know how it was going down back in the day, is all I'm saying. The new people that speak about it, all right, cool. That's because it's being talked about on the internet, so people gonna have their opinion. You can't go through that. But the people that was really there, you don't hear people talking about this AZ stuff and all that because they know how it was going down back then. And that'll be like the pot calling the kettle black. That's just that. I don't speak for to protect AZ. What he did, he took the stand. He took the stand. That was his choice. He didn't send them into jail because they was getting money together, having fun, sex, and girls, getting cars, and sending men away from their family. He made a choice and a decision because his aunt got unalived and her friends, all that. That's the difference in him and Alpo. What would me and you have to debate about, man? You sound crazy, bro. Crazy. You don't even know real official street guys even talk about A like that. That's why it is what it is. But you hear official street guys say something about Alpo, man. And I don't understand why you got his knob in your mouth so much. But I know why, because it helped you get a little money. You should have been moved out of that basement by now, man. YouTube check ain't paying enough. Damn. You still in the basement, bro. That's crazy to me. Wearing dusty black shirts, smoking weed. Like, come on, man. You probably cut your own hair. You don't come outside, bro. Where we gonna do this debate at if you wanted to do it? I'm trying to figure it out. Where would we do this debate at, man? Who would debate with you? Ron Bull said, and them older chicks kept the younger ones on to the game. That's a fact. And how to move. And that's what they did with Lynette. Oh, AZ hollering at you, girl, you crazy. You better holler at that. That's why she's like, nah, I'm going with you. Nah. So they were acting as the older ones. Yeah, and they kept them around so they can bring the dudes around too, so they can get with the dudes. They had a lot of game with them. And Jazzy Barnes said, if you really break it down, Aaliyah looked like a little girl in the body figure. For real. Now, I can give you that one.
But she was of age.
But she was of age, though. But, yeah. Goodfella said, excuse me, you said Alpo. Jamal Farrar said, without Alpo, people have no story, right? And he got to keep saying it. So the only reason why I be talking about it, because he keep talking about it, bringing me in and talk about, so I got real Harlem history with the dude when he was highly respected. I used to look up to Alpo. That's a fact. I used to look up to Poe. He's one of the reasons that showed me. He walked up to me one time, gave him my homeboy a pound and smacked fire out one dude. I had beef with a dude before, and I did the same thing. I gave homie a pound, I gave another pound, and I smacked the dude, and we started fighting. Straight like that. Can't make this story up. Things that he did made me know how to move when it comes to the gorillas in the street. And I was a slim nigga, so don't play with me, man. It's go and get it. And because I was around dudes like him. But then when he go and do what he did, I can't, it's over. And everybody say, nobody was saying that when Poe was alive. I said what I said when he was alive on Queen's Flip. It's 500,000 views. When they asked me, why do you think Poe unalived Rich Porter? And I said it. To keep the money and make people think the kidnappers did it. And I got flack, got phone calls, got everything. And I told, and had girls calling me, and I told her, don't be sending me no messages, man. Messages get people killed. And that's a fact. And I ain't saying that to brag or none of that. Because I already spoke. Poe wasn't no punk. Seen him fight. I saved his life before. Him and Wayne Perry at the Apollo. I done all that. So like dudes like old for dickhead debate can't tell me nothing. Because what I speak facts. And I'm not here to protect AZ as if he didn't take the stand. I'm just here to speak what we wasn't saying back in the day. It wasn't no, oh nah, you in the streets, you gotta handle it. That wasn't no saying of a snitch code back then. Never. You don't handle nothing. Preem just said it in his joint. If a person do something to, in his new documentary, y'all go listen to it. If a person, he said, we have to handle our business because if a person do something to you and you don't handle it, other people will do it. And I've been speaking about this before this documentary came out. If you let a person do something to you, they're going to handle you. And if you call po-po on them, oh, you straight puss. Oh, word. And now you're going to get handled even more. But we weren't saying, oh, yeah, rat. No, you was called a bitch. And niggas going to deal with you and keep robbing you unless you just break out, disappear, and live another life. Other than that, nobody was saying none of that. But when you get, and snitching wasn't even heard about like that back then, because you know better to snitch and think you coming back outside. You might not go back home. You're going to be rolled out somewhere. So it wasn't even snitching going on like that. That started creeping and creeping and creeping in the late 90s, 99s, 2000. Well, Alpo set it off whenever he went and messed all them up. But I'm just saying, it wasn't heavy like that. Jazzy said it didn't help how they was pumping that Keith Sweat. You may be young, but you ready through the hood. Wow, but you got a mega point. Talk about doo-wop, the one who kept the money, or Zip. Not these rats. I feel you, bro, but I'm checking this rat lover name up for debate. He's a clown. And, you know, he entertained, I entertained. I know he do it to talk about it because he want to get a check, man. But I ain't going to let him do no talking about Harlem history. And he from Detroit. Don't know nothing about Harlem. And that's why I got to check him every chance I get. But he going to still keep doing it because he get a check. And he rewrite stuff and then he read it off from what a person said. He'll write what a person say, but he'll switch some words up to make it sound like he talking about something. But he don't even know nothing about Harlem. He just put it in his commentary. And then you got people with mentals that's slow to not even recognize that he really is a troll. He a troll and he doing it for money. And some people, to them, it makes sense what he be saying. And not paying attention to real reality, to people that really was there. Like, he sound crazy, man. Ron Book said, we was 13, 14 at the rooftop and triggers, etc. That's a fact. Was I? Definitely was in there. But yeah, you know, the doo-wops and the Von Zips, those are the real dudes to talk about, you know? Zip was family. That's my bro. Doo-wop, you know, those are guys that I used to look up to too with them stories, man. My brother Cad Frost got more stories with doo-wop, him and Kirk Frost. Those my bros. They got more stories with doo-wop. But those are the stories to really tell, and it ain't glorifying how they used to live. It's just to tell these stories. So like I say, I'm gonna put a good ending to it to show these young cats this ain't what you wanted to do. Cause them dudes really went through stuff. And it was really nothing to them because they lived that life. That's what they do. But I just thought I'd come up here, man, and give y'all some intel with this up for the dickhead clown. He just be talking and talking. And my bro Ron Bulls hit me up. And you know, I even thought about should I entertain it? But I'm like, yeah, I gotta entertain it because you're not gonna mess Harlem history up and make it look like niggas is running around messing with young girls. Back then, those laws didn't apply. Nobody wasn't even thinking about it on that level or nothing. Nothing. That's why you don't hear people even commenting about none of that stuff. Only people that will comment about it will be people that's this new era that's just on this internet and don't know no better. And they seeing things that did happen back then. Back then is totally different from now. You put a picture of a girl back then, opposed that's 16 opposed to, or even 13 opposed to one that is now, totally different comparison. Totally different. You would probably think that that's probably her mother, and this is her. That's how. That's all I'm saying. But still, it's about mental when it comes to a woman. I don't give a goddamn how good she look. I don't care if a woman is 30, 40 years old and look good as hell and dress nice and all that. Once we start having a conversation, if the conversation ain't right, I can't even deal with that. Period. But, you know, to each his own. That's just what it is. Jazzy says city kids are always more advanced than the kids from down south in the country. Yeah, that's a fact. Roosevelt Avery says that the Pope is that the dick riding dude, the Pope dick riding dude from Detroit. Yeah, that's him. That's him, Roosevelt. That's definitely him. Ball said, Jazzy said, especially a city in New York. That's a fact, man. Jamal said, poor rat, but legendary. I give him that. Yeah, he legendary for the foul stuff that he did. See, I would never want to go down for being a foul dude. Once you are a rat, everything that you did was cool. Go out the window, man. Yeah, do the whole clown, Roosevelt. That's a big fact, man. But some people like to hear gossip, and they fall for that bull crap. Good fella said, yeah, I seen the Flip interview. That's a fact. I spoke my mind what that was. And I had just seen Alpo. He had seen me. Yo, what up, man? Yo. I gave him a pound. Yo, you look good, just that. Ain't nothing gonna never change, bro. Period. He was just testing my temper to see if I would act like I ain't want to rock with him and all that. But kill people with kindness, man. And I kept it moving. I ain't doing no combo. Yeah, so what's good, nigga? What you doing, man? What you up to, man? Yeah, I ain't do all that. No, nah, never, ever. Roosevelt said them chicks was looking 18, 19, and sometime 20. Come to find out later. Facts. This Jamal Farrar nigga, man, said Poe ratted because they locked up his mom and sis and rich nephew ratted on him. And you was, yo, boy, you a troll, my nigga. You're wildin'. I ain't even gonna block you. I'm gonna see how much more you gonna keep talking silly. L. Bliss says family would have looked, A's family would have looked at him different if he would have handled it in the street, since it was his aunt and all. No, that's a fact, man. They would have looked at him like you wildin'. But he didn't know the two dudes. He only knew Kevin. He wouldn't know. I mean, we probably could have found out by doing homework and, you know, calling around and all that. But who gives stick-up niggas a pass to do something? Y'all should find out if the dude gonna be thorough. If this is a game that we playing, you should know the game we're playing. Either giving people a pass, as far as women and all that is concerned, and or you being that's in the game, then you make sure damn, if something happened, this nigga might tell. I don't even know if we want to do this lick. But you go and do a lick with some people that's in there and women, and you kill 2 women, a man, and then you try to kill a 13-year-old, which nobody speak about that. Which y'all, you know, the girl was in there shot in the head. Only reason why she ain't died because she was running around in the living room. They couldn't hit her right. But why? Who gives them type of people some type of pass for anything? But at the end of the day, yeah, it could have got handled in the street. Like I tell him, we was outside waiting for Kevin to come to his mama house. Me, Rich Porter, 2 of my other homies. Period. Because it could have got handled in the street. But it would have took longer. Kevin disappeared. Then when he get caught, he told on the dudes. Straight up told what they did and took his homeboy's life away. And they don't speak about that. They still worry about, hey, y'all man told on y'all. He snitched. Let me rephrase that. AZ spoke what happened and told what happened on the stand. Kevin went in that interrogation room and told on the niggas that he brought in on with the plan to do it. So, you know, I don't condone ratting. I don't condone dealing with young girls. But if another man did it and he stand on it, you got to respect that he stood on it. We respected that Alpo said, yeah, I told this and that. Yeah, he did, but I don't hang with him. I ain't hanging with A neither. I don't hang with A. I don't got A number. He don't got my number. But he know how to contact me. I know how to contact him if I need be. Period. I stand on what I stand on. Ain't no nigga in Harlem nowhere ever put their hands on Bootsie. Nowhere, nigga. Ever. Harlem, New York, anywhere, North Carolina, nowhere. It ain't get dealt with. Period. And I ain't saying that to sound tough. I'm just saying, I don't want problems with nobody. So when it is a problem, I got all right to stand on however I want to take it there. That's it. And that's why I don't bother nobody, because they will have all right how they want to take it there with me. And I like to be outside and be humble and be cool with people. I want to shake your hand. That's what's up. This, that. Help you get some money and, you know, stuff like that. I don't want to be a troublemaker. Because they don't last. That's why I last long out here. That's why I've been out here for a long time, for years, and gotten well loved. Well loved. Walk anywhere through Harlem. A lot of people can't walk through Harlem from blocks and blocks and blocks. I walk from blocks and blocks and get stopped. What up, nigga? Where you been? Yo, what up? And get stopped like a celebrity. And not saying that because I don't care about no celebrity stuff. I care about friends. I care about people. I want to see everybody win. But it feel good to be loved because I want to get love back. And that's what I know. But ain't nobody ever play with me like that, period. And I know all the real gangsters in Harlem. I know them personally and all that. And a lot of them is my friends. And they know that about me. Don't go up there bothering with them boys. That's a fact. Because it's going to be a problem. And it could have got dealt with. We'd have had to do homework and all that. But if A would have passed away, they would have got away with that stuff also. So he had to tell his sister what happened. And whatever he said to the Popo, that's on him. He spoke about that. I never heard no rules back then. You in the streets, so you can't tell because you played that game. Nah, nigga, I know the rules of you don't bother old ladies, man. When old ladies walked in our house, we moved to the side in our buildings and we go open the door for them. If I know some ladies is somewhere, and just like we was outside of Kevin's house that same damn day, niggas was like, man, we going up in there and do something to the mama. And Rich Porter said, no, that lady ain't got nothing to do with nothing. See, that goes over people's head. Those was the rules. Which niggas like Rich, if you violate, you gonna get what you supposed to get if you violate. Other than that, he ain't want no problems with nobody, and that's how I was raised. See, under those type of umbrellas. and to look out for people. AZ looked out for a lot of people, man. A lot of people. That's why ain't nobody gonna say nothing bad about him. And back then, nobody wasn't onto a law of a statutory rape. They just brought that out like they bringing the RICO shit out now and putting it on people. And it's a real law because niggas is doing RICO stuff here and there, but they using it now just to push it on people. But I'm just saying. James said, man, fuck him, he a clown. He has some good viewpoints on different topics, but all in all, he just be talking. He from Detroit. Facts. Now, he might have some good viewpoints. I got to give him that. I'll give you a little bit, O-Cinda. James is right. But if you utilize it the correct way, then you still could win. But you trying to make a person that was a well-known, you know, high public figure in the streets at the time, if that makes sense or whatever, turned bad and spoiled, you can't make that, like, that means you telling the kids it's okay to be a rat. And it's not okay to take somebody's life. I've been in them trenches. I could have took people down. I could have told all people that was coming up and down the highway and all that when I got caught on the highway. And I didn't. I went to trial facing 60 years, man. And that was that. So I'm never going to condone nobody telling and taking another person down so they can come home and enjoy their family and their girl that they telling because they don't want to leave that girl. Get out of here, man. Sound crazy. And I'm a slim nigga. But y'all heard what Jewel said. I come from the city where the skinny niggas ride, and he ain't never lied. Cause we suiting up, and we go to blocks, whoever, and that's a fact. Fear no man, nobody, ever. And I don't even want no problems. That's why I like to just have fun and chill and show people love. And that's why a person like me lasted long in them trenches with them gorillas and them alligators that'll tear you up. They don't care who you is. I know the guys that step to you and tell you, like a preacher did, even though he did bad. All that's out the window. But step to you and tell you you're going to pay me money or it's going to be a problem. Not sneak in a house and kill people. Excuse me, YouTube, unalive people. We don't do that. That's a no-no. Unalive women, that's crazy. Roosevelt Avery said chicks was looking 18, 19, sometime 20. Oh, I read that one already. Oh no, I didn't. 20 turning out later on to actually be 14 and 15. That's a fact. They was throwing this stuff on because the older women was showing them how to put it on and go get these dudes because all the dudes back in the days was tricking that bread. I learned from a lot of them. That's how I know not to trick my money. And I'm on YouTube saying it. Ain't no woman gonna ever tell you after me and her did what we did, sexing and all that, having fun, and I paid for it. That's a no-no. We did the tricking, them. You rocking with me, you rolling with me. We sexing, we having fun. You going about your business, I'm going about my business. Like DMX said, you blazed, I blazed you, you blazed me. That's it. Period. I'm not giving no money. I'm not AZ, Rich Porters, and all the other big names that was around Harlem giving up that bread like that to buy bags and all. I'm not doing all for what? I'm a handsome nigga. You gonna rock with me, and I get money. So you wanna hang with me? Yeah. If you hanging with me and you minds, then yeah, I'm gonna buy you stuff because that's what a man's supposed to do. Man, take care of the woman. That's how I was raised. You take care of the woman. You show them a good time. And they always did show good times with them and all that. And if they chose to give them some money, because they got it like that, like T.I. said, it ain't tricking if you got it. Hey, it is what it is. But that just ran a long way through the city of Harlem, through the city of Queens, Brooklyn. If they was getting it, they was looking out for the women. And things that would go on behind their back, the women gonna come tell them, yo, so and so plotting on you, So sometimes putting that money out was a good thing. It's just how you look at it, man. El Bliss said Fritz was rich too. Yeah, Fritz was filthy rich. He was that dude. Roosevelt said, and this was when we were just 17 and 22 ourselves. And that's what I just said before you came up here, Roosevelt. I'm like, even though the guys was 20 and 21, and the girls might have been 13, 14, 15 and all that, they still was young-minded. And that law, statutory rape wasn't in. And that's just a law that they created here. I ain't mad about the law because I wouldn't sex a young girl because it wouldn't do nothing for me. I'm just saying. The law wasn't nobody. The law was in place, but nobody ain't paid no attention in the 80s. Police had laws that they didn't even know how to even enforce drugs. It's like even now when the Mollies came out, they didn't even know what Molly was. They had to figure all that stuff out. So the stuff that was being gotten away with back then didn't apply to now. So now I'm the one that's speaking up to don't try to sabotage somebody's name with what's new going on now in this era on this internet stuff, opposed to what was happening back then. That's all I'm saying. Nobody wasn't looking at no girls in Ozone trying to make it look like it was you was really looking at a real little 12, 13-year-old. Get out of here, bro. You was a clown, man. When you gonna come outside? Because I just showed at the beginning of this. A lot of y'all that's in here, if you didn't see the beginning, I showed when I was in Detroit at a nice little restaurant, go and grab some quick food and all that, because we was out there for a whole weekend. And then I showed we was at the club, and I'm like, Ozone, where you at? And it wasn't about trying to beef with him, because I'm not, I speak about the don't be beefing and unaliving people and all that. So it wasn't about that. Come outside and holler at me, so we could have debated then. Why you ain't want to debate then? And it's in my stories, y'all, up for debate. Bootsie outside in Detroit, whatever, y'all can pull it up. I was out there. If y'all don't even get to see the beginning of this. He ain't come outside. I was there a whole weekend. We had an Airbnb. Mad about a bunch of Airbnbs because a bunch of us came out there, but we was rolling with some real Detroit dudes, official Detroit dudes. And we had a great time, man. Real dudes. And they rock with my boy. It was his birthday. And they rocked with him for years. Mad love. He introduced me to a lot of people. So where was for the up the debate, the whatever. O-Cinda is his new name. It's a CEO now up for 100 million. Yeah, Luke Abrazi doing his thing. Shout out Luke Abrazi. Him and my little bro, Uncasa, started from mixtapes and whatever else. Luke is a go-getter. Uncasa, I was the first person to sign Uncasa before he was signed with Dipset or any of that stuff. Nobody even knew who Cameron and them was. Uncasa was rocking. And that's when I got locked up. So Un had to keep moving forward. Un is a smart dude. Uncasa know how to move. New York City finest. Smith said, big facts. A mindset is a terrible thing to waste, especially nowadays, fam. That's a fact. Got to stay sucker free. I definitely do that. Jamal Fresh said, you gonna block me when I'm Kev Frost's nephew. Crazy work. Well, you gotta talk like you talking sense, baby. Kev Frost is Kev Frost is a made man, certified. And he don't even talk stupidity, and he don't even be on platforms like this either. I'm gonna see if I can bring my brother out, but he spoke on the doo-wop documentary though. But and that's my brother. That's family. Like we was in the rap group together, the Young Guns of Harlem. Before any of these Young Guns y'all ever seen, we was the first. I got the mixtapes. Matter of fact, I might got it over here somewhere. Oh yeah, let me see. Yeah, I do. I got it. Young Guns of Harlem. Kev Frost, Ronnie Stone. I've been doing this before Dame Dash and all them. They took it to the next level, but I got locked up. This is a cassette. It's going to be in my documentary. Still got the CD inside. That's how real Bootsie is. What do I look like debating with a troll? Assassinating my character. Young Guns of Harlem, y'all. Kev Frost, Ronnie Stone. This is what I do. I can't make stuff up. This is all certified. Hold up, let me see. I did all that. Kill 'em Up Records was the name of it. And you know, it's just showing what we did way back then at a young age bracket. We was ahead of our time. I can't make none of this stuff up. Hold up. I got my little brother Q over here, man. This is the joint with Big L that I did, and people put out my music and said it was Big L's, but it's mine's. Me, Big L McGruff. So, you know, we don't just do no talking. Somebody asked when the last time I talked to A. Whenever you see Dame Dash says something about A, go up on my page. You'll see I played the recording. Ozone played the recording on his joint. Y'all can go check that out. O-Cinda played it. Now, me and Jewels ain't related, but a lot of people say we look alike. That's the little bro, though. Good people. But yeah, just thought I'd give y'all some history, man. And this was the mixtape, the Paid in Full joint. My brother Jay Black, me and Big L together, and McGruff. Can't make this stuff up, man. At all. Been making moves for 100 years, man. Make sure y'all cash at me, man, for a lot of this good stuff, man. At the real Big Bootsie. Money sign the real Big Bootsie. BOOTSIE. Make sure y'all subscribe if y'all new in here, please. I'm at 8,000 now. I'm going up 10,000. We making moves, man. We making moves, man.
Coming.
That's a fact. Legendary. And I don't even care about all that type of stuff, but it is what it is. I am a legend from Harlem, but I don't take to that. I do want to get his history. That's it. So O-Cinda, man, you fall back, man. But when you ready to do this, let's do this debate outside. If you need me to get up with A, then let me know. Other than that, man, I guess you'll keep trolling so you can make you a couple dollars. So you might can get out that basement. When we see you out of that basement, we know you made it. Because right now you was in a basement, man. Facts. I can give you a little tour of this house, but I ain't gonna do all that. It's unnecessary. So, you know, it is what it is, man. Your boy Big Bootsie. I gotta sign out, y'all. I gotta sign out. I got some things to do, but I'll be back. I'll be back. Promise you that. Hit that like button, y'all. Please, everybody hit the like button. I need y'all. YouTube be playing with the numbers, man. So hit that like button for me. I'll see y'all in a minute. Your boy Big Bootsie. Salute, man. O-Cinda. Chill out. You ready to dig Poe up so you can give him some more head. I get it, but it's cool. You the head monster now. That's your new name, the head monster.